Hello, this is Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and we're looking at a blog that I have created, and it's called timewithjesus.mrkent.com, and it's a blog. And so what I set up is I set up a stay connected email, and so when they fill this out and click on submit, well, then they get put on the email list. The only problem is I notice that sometimes the email doesn't show up unless they go and take a look at their spam, and it shows up sometimes as a spam. And that kind of happens from time to time on a lot of different things, different emails and so forth. So what I want to do in this video is to show you how to set up your email filters to filter out things you don't want coming to bother you, and to filter in the ones that you do want so that they show up in your inbox. And I'm going to use the three different, what I think is probably the most popular email apps. We've got Google Gmail, and then we've got this is Outlook.com, but it's Microsoft's Hotmail. And then over here we've also got Yahoo. So I'm going to cover those three email applications, and I'm going to explain how you can make sure that you get the email you want and how to keep from getting email that you don't want. So first of all, this is December, and they wanted me to try their holiday themes, and so I don't want to do that. Here's an email from the website that I was talking about, timewithjesus.com, or timewithjesus.mrkent.com, and originally these were going into spam, and so I had to set up a filter to make sure that they didn't go into spam. How did I do that? All right, well, this is Yahoo. So in Yahoo, you go over here and you click on the little gear, and you come down in here and you find settings right there, and you click on settings, and then it allows you to create a filter. If you go right here and click on filters, okay, and here's the filter that I have added. And so if I wanted to edit this filter, I'll show you what it looks like. We'll click on edit here, and it says the filter name is mrkent@gmail.com, because that's the email that's going to come in for the notifications. And so it says, you come down here, it says if an incoming email meets all these conditions, and so it contains this email address, well, then come down here, move that message to the, and then you can pick wherever you want to move it. Now, if it's an email that you don't want, then you would click on spam, or you could make a new folder to send it to if you wanted to collect different email addressed pieces of mail. But I want it to come to the inbox, so I click on that, and then you click on save. So that's how you set up a filter. So let's just go through it real quick here. One more time. In Yahoo, you come up here to the gear, come down to, whoops, click on the gear. Whoop, come on. Click on the gear. It's real fussy. Click on settings. Come over and click on filters. And then when you add a filter, we'll just say we're going to add a filter, then you would type in what you wanted to call it, filter out Mr. Kent or whatever, and then you put in the email address, and then you tell it where you want it to go. There would be spam or your inbox. So that's how you set up a filter using Yahoo. Okay. Well, let's go over here to Gmail, and pretty much the same thing with Gmail. Only you come up here and you click on this little drop down thing up here in the top. And this is where you can set up your filter. So if you wanted to set a filter up from, we'll just say xyz at xyz.com, and it was sent to me, which would be MRKE. Yeah, we'll just click on that right there. Okay. Now then, and you can also decide whether, if it contains different words that you don't want. You could filter out foul language and stuff like that if somebody was sending you that kind of stuff. So we come down here to the bottom and we click on create a filter for this. And here's your different options. And like, for instance, if you wanted to send it, if you wanted to just get rid of it, you could click on delete it. If you never wanted it to be sent to spam, which is what I had to do for the mail that was coming from my website, then you would click there. Or if you always wanted to send it to mark it as important or whatever. So this is where you would do that. And if you wanted to categorize it for different reasons, then you go ahead and you click on filter. And so that's how we do it in Google. Let's go through that one more time. You're going to there's that one I just made, but it's not, I didn't finish it up. So we'll just start a new one. We'll just get rid of that. Come over here and click on the down arrow, and then you type in who it's from and who it's to, which is most likely it's going to be you. And then you come down here and click on create filter. Okay, so that's how we do it in Yahoo. Google Mail. Okay, let me see. We covered Yahoo. Let's take a look at Outlook. In Outlook, if you want to create a filter, you come over here, and there's the gear again. Click on the gear, and come down here to Manage Rules. Okay, you click on Manage Rules, and then this is how you would set up a rule. And so I have one set up that contains Mr. Kent, mail from Mr. Kent, move it to the inbox. So let's pretend we're going to create a new one. And so if when the email matches or sender contains, and then you type in the email address here, then you come over here and you tell what you want to do with it. You can delete it, or you can move it to junk, or you can move it to the inbox, which is move to, and then you pick your inbox there. So it's pretty, let's go through that one again. We'll cancel that. Go back here. So if you want to set up a filter to make sure you get the email you want, you go over here, you click on this, come down to Manage Rules, and then you click on New, and then you create the rule that you want. Now, if there's something you don't want, then you would put that email address in there and just leave it on delete and create the rule. So that's basically how you go about creating rules or putting email where you want it to go, and it's called filtering. Now, sometimes you want to filter out the email, and sometimes you want to filter in the email. So it all depends on what you want to do with that email. Now, one word of caution if you're using an iPad. Okay, Google doesn't have all this stuff on the iPad, so you have to sit down on a regular computer like I'm using here and go in and set your rules and set your filter, set it up on a regular computer. You log into your email, set it up on a regular computer, and then it'll show up, it'll do what you want it to do on the iPad. So anyway, that's how you go about setting up filters with the 3 different email applications that I think are the most important ones. All the other ones are pretty much the same way too. They probably have pretty much the same steps to go through. By the way, sometimes spam is called junk. Like in the iPad, it's called junk, and in other applications, it may be called spam. That's the difference between spam and garbage. Is if you have something coming in and you've read it and you don't want it anymore, you don't want to keep it around, then you put it in the garbage. Then you can always go back and get it if you need to. If you put it in spam, then you're not going to get that email from that email address anymore. So that's with garbage, you still keep getting the email, and whether you want to read it or not is up to you. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and I want to thank you for listening, and I hope that you'll come by and visit my blog, timewithjesus.mrkent.com.